Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your phones on silent as your trailers are about to start. We have a new podcast on the Catalyst website called Theater or Redbox, where we select and watch your favorite trailers and analyze them to see if you should see them in theater for $10 or wait for them to come out on Redbox. We're your hosts, Cody Bennett.
And Mackenzie Gonzalez.
And this is Theater or Redbox. We have 7 movies to talk about on our first episode, the first of which is the long-anticipated Solo, a Star Wars movie. So, Solo, the Star Wars movie, is honestly one of the long-anticipated movies since Episode 7 came out last year. Every Star Wars movie that comes out, you gotta go see in theater. It's always something that you go with your friends or your family or just like even by yourself. And it's just the action sequences look amazing, and just everything looks very well ironed out for the trailer, and it gives us a little insight to one of the characters that we kind of grew up with.
Yeah.
And most of the Star Wars community grew up with. And like shows him some insight of how he's a smuggler and how he became the best pilot in the galaxy.
Yeah, it would definitely be a movie to go see in theaters, just like any other Star Wars movie, because they're so anticipated that you get so excited about it that you can't wait for it to come out on DVD or, to rent it. You have to see it right then and there. And what I really like about the aspect of this movie is the fact that it's going to give us an insight on how Han became the man he was, and we're just going to get this backstory on him and all of that. So I really like that aspect. We actually get to know one of the beloved characters a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, and then next up is Red Sparrow, starring Jennifer Lawrence and taking place in Russia, where women are trained to become spies.
Okay, so with Red Sparrow, it's definitely something I would say you should see in theaters. It's starring Jennifer Lawrence, where she is playing a character who is given the choice between either being killed or becoming a weapon of Russia and being trained in, deception to spy on higher-ups in the government so that she can get information from them. And I don't know, I think it's just really cool. She's in yet another role where she's a powerful woman who is fighting for her life in a society that wants her dead or wants to control her. Like, towards the end of the trailer, she meets somebody and he's like, I can help you get away, or you can forever belong to this society that will control you.
Yeah, I'd honestly see this in theater as well. Jennifer Lawrence is an amazing actor ever since The Hunger Games, and she's a great person to fulfill a role of a powerful woman like a Red Sparrow, for women that are trained to manipulate and control and just get information out from higher-ups in the government.
Keep in mind, the Red Sparrows was an actual society in real life, too. So this is based on true events.
Yeah, and I just think it's gonna be a good movie just because Jennifer Lawrence is fulfilling the first role ever since The Hunger Games. Avengers Infinity War is on track to become one of the biggest Marvel movies ever, as it showcases pretty much every single hero in the Marvel universe. So, Avengers Infinity War, I'm honestly going to go see in theater because I love the aspect of superheroes, and I love Marvel and DC. I love Marvel and DC both equally.
As I'm yawning over here.
Yeah. Just the thought of bringing, I think, every superhero in the Marvel universe together is, like, it's historical, because I don't think they've ever been all in the same movie. And also bringing the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is my favorite, I guess, quote-unquote, superheroes into the Marvel universe, because I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're my favorite. Yeah, they're just my favorite superhero crew in the Marvel universe, and they're just really funny, and I can't wait for that to come out.
I personally probably won't see it in theaters, and if I do, it'll be because, a friend or, like a group of friends or my family wants to go see it in theaters, because I'm personally not a huge fan of superhero movies. Like, I couldn't tell you many differences between Marvel and DC. Like, to me, it's all the same. Sorry to everybody out there who is going to give me crap for that. But it looks good. Like I said, I'll probably, just because I don't enjoy superhero movies a whole lot, I'll probably just wait to see it. And it's kind of cool seeing all the superheroes. Like, it's cool seeing all of them come together and work together. And in the trailer, you see Loki holding this cube, and it kind of puts him looking like he's a good guy, but also at the same time a bad guy. And I did see, the latest Thor movie, so I know, like, the background behind that a little bit. So it does help me, get a little bit of insight on the movie. But other than that, yeah, I probably won't. I'll wait, most likely.
Right, yeah. And then next up is Ant-Man and the Wasp, coming out on July 6, 2018, is looking to be a big hit from Marvel as well.
Wait to see this, and, rent it, because, like I said, I'm not a huge superhero movie fan, and I didn't see the first Ant-Man movie, so I'm not familiar with the characters and, what's going on and all of that, so yeah.
Well, for me, I'm still going to go see this in theaters as well, because you should honestly see every superhero movie that comes out these days. Even if you're not a fan, go with some friends. It's still going to be a fun time, because Ant-Man, I think, is one of the most interesting superheroes that Marvel has to offer. Shrinking yourself or things down to the subatomic level, down to the size of a molecule. It's amazing. It just shows the creativity of the Marvel team and what they can offer, and I'm excited to see more superheroes that they have coming out later in the years to come. So I'd see this in theaters as well. And then next is the long-awaited Incredibles 2, making its comeback 14 years after its predecessor. Growing up watching this movie, I just hope that the sequel will stick with us like the first one did. Well, Incredibles 2, everybody should see it in the US, even though if you haven't seen the first one, I grew up watching this movie. It's just like Finding Nemo. It's like how I grew up watching Finding Nemo every single day, and then Finding Dory came out, and I mean, I can see where us in high school probably won't like it because we were kids back then. But it's still like a sense of nostalgic. Nostalgic. It's like the nostalgic feeling that you get when watching something that you haven't seen for 14 years, like a new installment for 14 years.
Plus, by the looks of it, it does actually look like it's going to be good. And if you say you're not going to go see it because, I'm in high school now, I'm too old for this, and I'm too cool for it, you're lying.
You are lying, because Incredibles 1, honestly, I think 75% of the school has seen it, because most of my friends that I have seen most of the movies that I used to watch when I was a kid, Incredibles and plus, then Finding Nemo and stuff when they were kids.
Like you had said when you mentioned, Finding Dory, we were in high school and that came out, and so many of us were so excited to see that. So why would this be?
Yeah, even though it's a kids movie, it's still going to be a great movie, because just the nostalgic feeling that you get when watching something that hasn't come out, like a new installment that hasn't come out for 14 years. Like, my parents are excited to see this.
Yeah. They want to go see this movie.
So, everybody honestly should go see that movie. It's going to be, it looks amazing from the trailer.
Yeah. Like Cody said, I would definitely go see this in theaters just because, it's very anticipated. The movie's going to start off exactly where it left off 14 years ago. And it's interesting because in the first one, Elastigirl was the one who stayed home and took care of the kids, while Mr. Incredible was like, I want to get back into, the superhero scene. and go save people. So he snuck off to go save people and all of that. Whereas in this movie, now it's Mr. Incredible who is staying home and dealing with the kids while Elastigirl is out saving the world. And because of that, now he is having to deal with baby Jack Jack, who is just now showing signs of powers.
So, yeah. And then next up is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, coming out 2 years after the original Jurassic World.
I would definitely see Jurassic World in theaters, just because in the trailer you see, Chris Pratt's character sitting down with another, and he is told about the idea of going back to the island in which Jurassic World was founded on and saving the dinosaurs because it is about to explode. And he's very against the idea at first until he finds out that Blue, the velociraptor he raised, is still alive, and he hopes to, he's like, wait, Blue's still alive, I have to go now to save her. And I would like to see how, the relationship between him and Blue plays out, just to see, will she actually remember him, or has he been away for too long?
Yeah. And the trailer gave us a little suspense between when he finds Blue, that Blue nips at him a little bit when he first finds him on the island in the jungle. I'm not as hyped for these kind of movies anymore. Well, I still kind of am, but when you have a dinosaur movie coming out every 2 years or so, it gets old pretty fast.
Had there was 3 Jurassic Park or
back
so.
in the 1990s, yeah.
And then now it's going to be 2 Jurassic World, so about 5.
About 5 movies in the span of, 10, 15 years.
And there's the idea of yet another one in 2021 coming out.
This is, I just think that people will realize how old it's going to get. Because I just think Jurassic World or Jurassic Park is just like a money hungry machine now.
It's a franchise that I would agree, while I'm excited to see this movie, I would agree it needs to be put to rest, and the idea of, bringing the dinosaurs back needs to be put to rest also.
Yeah, because I just think that people will now realize, starting to come to its end, that this is getting a little old.
Yeah.
I will still go see it, but it's just getting a little old, saving the dinosaurs every single time. Not really just how the first Jurassic World panned out, where the T-Rex escaped and the dinosaurs broke loose. That happened in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, there was something that went wrong in each one of them.
And it just gets really old, yeah.
It's the same plot over and over again.
All right. And then Tomb Raider's a Shock is the first Tomb Raider game came out on October 25th, 1996, and the latest being November 10th, 2015. All right. So Tomb Raider, I think, is going to be a very interesting movie. Even though I say that, it's not really in the good way. Because you and I talked before this, movies about games don't really turn to pan out well. If you look at the popular game Overwatch, 2016 Game of the Year winner, they have really good animation and storytelling ideas. They have a lot of heroes to choose from that tell stories in a 6 to 8 minute little story. And
based on the fact that, I don't know much about video games, but based on the fact that, like you said, there are a bunch of different, heroes that you can choose from, that based on those heroes, the story might differ a little bit. So it would be difficult to tell a full story involving all of them without, some sort of conflict between each hero's story.
Yeah, and if you keep in mind that the games have hours and hours and hours of gameplay put into it, 8 to 10 hours. The new Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered had 10-hour campaign that I played through all in 2 days, just to try to, I don't know, like, it tells you a story that you haven't really heard before, even though it was remastered, but you can't really put that into a movie. A 2-hour movie, not even 2 hours, like an hour and a half movie, can't really grasp the plot that has been put into the game for 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. I just games made into movies are I just think are kind of a bad idea from a plot standpoint if people don't know what's going to go on, because if you're a fan of the Tomb Raider franchise, you're probably going to go see this.
Yeah.
Like, my mom grew up playing Tomb Raider. She loves the game, but I've never really gotten into it, so I'm probably not going to go see it because I don't know what the plot is or whatever.
And yeah, I would have to agree with that. It's something that I don't know much about it. I'm not familiar with the game. And so if I were to go see it in theaters, I would probably want to do a little bit of research on like the game and what it's exactly about before seeing it.
Yeah.
So I would probably wait to see it. But I'm just wondering, based on the fact that it is a video game, do you think maybe it would be similar to Jumanji, where it's based off of Jumanji? The original Jumanji was based off a board game that took you into this world, and then they remade it to the point where no one was playing Jumanji anymore, so they found a way to get people to play it by Jumanji magically forming into a video game. So I wonder if, because of that aspect, this movie will be similar.
Okay. So that's all that we have here for this week on Movie Theater Redbox. We will be back in a couple weeks or so with new movies, trailers, and things to talk about to decide if you should go see your favorite movies or trailers in theater, or watch it or rent it at Redbox. We'll have some special guests here with us next week, and we're looking forward to it. All right, signing off, Wildcats.